All right, so for this project, you will need a ruler. This is optional, and you will need some embroidery thread. So I have some blue thread here. And then you will need 2 earring hooks like these. You will also need 4 jump rings like these. And a pair of scissors. I chose hair cutting scissors because they cut the easiest through the twine, and a pair of pliers. All right, let's get started. So to begin, you can either measure out 30 pieces of string that are 6 inches long using your ruler. So this is the first method. You can use a ruler and measure out 6 inches and make 30 of those strands. Or option 2, you can take the string and wrap it around your fingers and spread out your fingers, and you can continue kind of wrapping it around your hand this way. And it measures out to be roughly the same length, and you will do this wrapping technique about 30 times to come up with the strands that you need. So here I'm just wrapping the thread around my hand until I get to 30. All right, so once it's done, I'm going to slide it off my hand. I'm going to cut off the string that was still attached. And now I am going to kind of pull my band taut and cut it in half. And I'm just pulling out a few loose ones that are not laying perfectly straight. And I'm pulling off 2 strands to the side. We're going to use those for later. And then I'm going to count out my strands, and I kind of want to see how many there are to make sure I have the right amount. And then I'm going to divide that in half. So here's my 1/2, here's my 2nd half. And then we're just gonna put the twine off to the side. And we wanna make sure that our threads are very straight. So at this point, you want to grab your jump rings, all 4 of them, and take your pliers. And I recommend either a pen, a pencil, even a butter knife, rather than the scissors that I used. But I did use my scissors to kind of help me open up my jump rings and give me some leverage. Or if you have another pair of pliers, that would work probably the best. And once we have that jump ring open, we want it to be open pretty wide. And then we're going to take one set of our thread and we're going to kind of wrap it around like so. And then we can just hold that in place. And we can grab our jump ring and kind of secure it around where we twisted our thread. The twisting makes it a little bit easier so that you can get all the strands in the jump ring, and that way there's none that are kind of like hanging out. And then we can close up that jump ring a lot easier with the strands twisted amongst themselves. So like this, you want to make sure that all your strands are inside the jump ring, and then you're going to take your pliers and you're going to close that jump ring. And you want to make sure that those two ends line up pretty well and they are not offset from each other. On the jump ring, it just kind of makes it have a better hold and last a little bit longer. So here is what it looks like. And we're going to open up our other jump ring. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to twist our strands together, hold them in place, and place the jump ring over them. And we're going to close up that jump ring with the pliers. So here's both of them, and then we're going to grab another jump ring and open that one up as well. And then we're just going to go ahead and wrap this jump ring through the other one that we just put onto our strands, and we're going to close that up. And then that way we will have one jumping around our strands and then one jumping through that one. And here I overly closed my jump ring. It kind of closed in on itself and wasn't that circular shape. It was more like an oval. So I just reopened it and closed it back into that circular shape. So this is what it should look like. And then we're just going to take our hooks and we're going to open those up with the pliers as well. So one side should open up pretty easily. Like so. So it's like a little hook. And you're just going to hook that onto the last jump ring we added, and we're going to close up that hook circle. And here we are. And we're going to just go ahead and do that to the other one as well. So once again, we're adding on this jump ring onto our last one, and then we're going to add in our earring hooks on top of this one. All right, so at this point, you want to lay your earrings down flat and flatten those strands. And then we're going to take our two leftover pieces of string embroidery thread, and we are going to put our earrings on top of it like so. So it's barely just below the jump rings and hook. And then we're just going to simply tie it to kind of create the tassel band. And you can decide um, how big you would like your top tassel to be. And then we're just going to flip it over and we're going to tie it on the back side now. So once in the front and then flip over, and once in the back and then again in the back. So twice total to double knot. And then you can just lay those strings down and do the same thing on the other side. So pick where you would like your tassel tied off and tie it. So once in the front and then again twice in the back. And this is what it should look like so far. So our ends are a little moppy looking, and we are going to go ahead and fix that with the scissors now. So just go ahead and comb through your tassels with your fingers and kind of try to straighten them all out. And then we can go ahead and chop them to their shortest thread length. So if you see one strand that's pretty short, I like to go ahead and cut to that strand. And kind of using like a hairdresser technique to pull down on the thread can kind of make this part a little bit easier. So here is one. Now let's go ahead and trim the other. And you can hold them next to each other like this and line up their two tie-offs, and then you can see and match the two tassels to the same length this way. And this one just needed a little extra trim in a couple places. And here we are. So these are the completed tassel earrings. I hope you all enjoyed the tutorial, and I will see you next week for another Connecting Your Creativity. Bye!